All right, y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm King Tyson. Don't forget to like and subscribe like I always tell y'all to do in the beginning or the end of my videos. Check it out. Before we start, write me at KingTyson713@yahoo.com if you want my advice about something, you want my opinion about something. Write me, KingTyson713@yahoo.com. Y'all, it is free. I don't charge y'all to write me. If you like this content, please go to the video tab section of this YouTube channel. Click on the video that interests you, watch it, give me some feedback in the comments. I really appreciate that. So look, let's get on with the video. This video is about single black mothers effect. You know, I got a couple of pictures of King Von's mama, right? And let me say this, the woman looks phenomenal I believe she's 49, she'll be 50 this year. The woman looks phenomenal at 50. I mean, a woman body's on point, beautiful face, you know what I mean? She looks good. And I've been seeing a lot of people criticize her, right? And they say that, oh man, she's out here, you know, she's trying to be an Instagram model and her son was out here doing this. Or then, you know, some people say, oh, she's out here trying to compete with 20-year-olds. She should have done a better job raising her son. He wouldn't have passed. All this type of things, y'all. And I'm gonna say two things, right? Let me say this, right? The modern day single black mother, right? That's the title of the video. Modern day single black mothers, this is going to be the new thing, right? They're going to be beautiful, attractive women, don't look the age at all, right? They're going to be still hair turners, right? They're still going to be able to compete with younger women. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to compete to try to get younger men, but I'm saying as an older woman, you should be able to keep yourself up, be able to, if you're single, be able to put yourself in the running to where you can find a man. Let me also say this. Back in my days, I'm 41 years old. I'll be 42 this year. Back in my days, even when I was a little kid, the 40-year-old people, people look older back in the day versus what people look now. I'm 41. I don't know, y'all. Maybe I look 41. I don't know. I'm just saying that black people our age are really keeping ourselves up. We really keeping ourselves youthful as possible. You know, we taking care of ourselves, most definitely. You know, we caring about our physical appearance. And when your physical appearance is there, it makes you feel good. It gives you high self-esteem. And in this climate, you need high self-esteem, because if we go off the internet will definitely it would definitely give you low self-esteem if you follow everything to what this internet does, right? But in King Von's mom defense, right? Y'all, her son was gonna do what he gonna do regardless. Now, we could say, well, if his mom would have grew up in the hood, but look, let me say this. Look at his background. His daddy was a gangster, right? His daddy was a gangster. Daddy was in and out of jail all through King Von life. His daddy ended up getting murdered, you know? And it's crazy because King Von died the same way. He died a gangster. He was out here doing all this type of shit. But you got to look at the environment that people come from, right? You got to look at that. That shit makes a difference. They come from an environment to where you could be murdered on what block you live on. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be, you know, if this was LA, what set you come from? You know what I'm saying? You know, it could cost your life. If you come from those kind of climates, that shit is almost normal. And in reality, it's not normal. right? So I feel like King Von was gonna do what King Von was gonna do. His mama probably raised him the best way she could. But let me tell you something. A single black mothers in this modern day, a lot of times you can raise your kids the best way possible. But when a young black male, when he gets older, when he gets become a teenager, y'all, sometimes you could teach them right from wrong, but they're gonna go their own way, and it's nothing that you can do about it. My personal opinion, you know, a lot of times we can say we blame ourselves. It's easy for people to say, you know what, if they would just move out the hood, they'd be good. Okay, what if you're a person, if you're a single mother, you ain't really got no skills, you got kids, and you're doing the best you can do. You might can't even afford to move out the hood. Moving out the hood costs. You go to another state, you don't know nobody. You go to another city, you don't know anybody. You don't have family there. You got to figure it out yourself. Sometimes it ain't that easy like the way people say it is. Sometimes y'all people get stuck in the hood. People are stuck in the hood and can't leave. My thing is, what I preach on my channel is, I preach from my brothers to definitely be in your kid's life when you have a child. Whether it's someone, you know, you was in a woman you was in a relationship, you married to, you had a one-night stand, whatever the fuck happens, and there's a child, and you verify that this is your child, you need to be there for the child, because as a man, as a black man, you not being there for your kids is detrimental. It's detrimental for the sons, and it's detrimental for the young girls. The more the boys, the young black boys, they'll come up and start want to get into gangs. They want to get into street life. You know, when they don't have their father in their life. A lot of times, and I'm not saying you got ones who had their father in their lives who don't go into that that had their father in their life that still chose the street route. You have those, but that's a small percentage. A lot of times brothers start getting into the streets, they start, you know, they feel like they need things of their own. Mama working two and three jobs, doing the best she could do. You know what I'm saying? It's not enough. So they feel like they got to get into and make a way, you know. So that happens. It's detrimental when a black father's not for his daughter, because a lot of times our daughters, young girls wouldn't choose some of the men that they choose if their fathers in their life that gave them that that male fatherly love. You wouldn't have to feel like you got to be validated by a man if you had your father there, you know. So a black father not being in the household is very detrimental to the kids. And this is why I say to my sisters out there that you have kids, is that you don't need to push the father away because you mad because the relationship didn't work. And I know a lot of single black mothers do that. You want to try to punish the man through the kids, and that's not right, because you're robbing the kids of their father, of them. You know, it's already bad enough that you're not coming up in a 2-parent household, right? And that's something that they got to deal with psychologically, you know. But you taking away from his ability to be a father. Now, I'm not saying it's all black single mothers' fault, because some of the fathers out here, they not doing their job as a father. They'll make kids but not take care of them. They got multiple baby mamas, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever the fact of the matter is. You gotta step up. You know, it doesn't make any sense where you got 70% of black households are single parent households, and the kids are raised by the mother. So, okay, we come from the hood, right? We could say all day long you shouldn't have came from the hood, but we at the hood. We in the hood. It's where we was born at, where we from, right? Trying to make our best what we can. But when you get older, you should be able to work on yourself. So if your mama didn't get you out the hood, you should be able to work on yourself. This is why I say, brothers, get you a trade job. I always preach that to my brothers. You want to get out the hood, you don't want to go to college, go get your trade. Ladies, you want to get yourself out the hood, go into the medical field. We need more ladies. Get your financial aid, become a nurse, you know, do lab work. It's so many things you could do in the medical field, ladies. That's another way, you know, you get yourself up out the hood, straight up. You know, I'm giving y'all some tools and things to do. Or go to college, you know, be an engineer, whatever you want to be. Go better yourself. This is how you get out of the hood, by bettering yourself academically or through a trade. This is for my black people. It's one thing I want y'all to learn. You know, we don't have to better ourselves getting out the hood doing street shit to try to get money. That's fast money. That shit, you'll hit a lick for 10,000 one day, and then you'll go broke for months and months because something ain't hitting. And the chances you take trying to hit a lick, that's more chances you throwing bricks at the penitentiary. It's old school saying, and you end up being in the pen. So what I'm saying is that some of these kids, the way they grew up, you could try to teach them right from wrong, but they gonna do, as a teenager, they gonna do what they gonna do. You can have the best teaching. Hell, they could come from a suburban household and with a two-parent household, and they still could choose the wrong path. It's just, it's just sometimes it happen that way. Now, the modern day single black mother effect is this. You got single black mothers that's trying to still be in a run and finding them a good man. And they gonna take care of themselves. They gonna make sure they right. Physically, they gonna make sure the hair is on point. They gonna make sure the makeup is on point. They gonna make sure the bodies get done. A lot of women are starting to get BBLs now. A lot of women are starting to get liposuction. They starting to get everything it takes to get the outside right. But you got to get the mental right, ladies. You got to make sure your mental is right. I know, ladies, sometimes y'all get caught up in, let's just say the father isn't in the life of the kids, right? And women, black women, y'all would try to want a man who's going to replace that father of their kids. And that's something you got to get out of. You got to get out of looking for a man to replace your kid's father as their father. Get out of that mindset. You need to focus on finding a man who's gonna be right by, is gonna love you, but still do right by your kids. Not someone who's gonna be their father. And I think that's what women mess up on. Y'all quick to replace the kid's father and looking for the next man that's gonna be the stepfather. No, you need to build that relationship with the man first, and then see how a man's heart is, and then he will come in and be some assistance, some help, with your kids. That's just my personal opinion about it, But I feel like our modern day single black mothers, they have it together physically. They got it together. They getting older and they got it together. They goddamn, they looking good. You know what I'm saying? They look well. They take care of themselves. I think as black people as a whole, in this modern day, I believe we are, as we get older, we taking care of ourselves more and looking better. But as black people, black don't crack, of course, but just because the physical's there, we gotta have the mental there to match. And so the modern day single black mother effect also, like I said, it weighs down on these kids, right? Because the mothers are so busy trying to find a man that's gonna love them, right? And a lot of times, finding a man that's gonna love you, finding a man that's gonna love you the right way is where the problem is at, right? And ladies pick wrong. And when ladies, you pick wrong, you got to look at what it does to your kids, right? The things that the kids, what they grew up and they see. You want to be a great example for your kids. And we all make mistakes choosing the wrong people, right? It happens. But you can't keep making the same mistake. You got to see the signs. People give out signs. And when you date different people, when you start seeing similar signs from the last person, that's your cue to move on. Not to try to change somebody. And a lot of times you can't change a man. A man gonna be a man, I know women have this thing where they want to try to mold a man to be a certain type of way. If that man ain't a certain type of way by the time he's 30, 35, 40, he ain't gonna be that. You know, that's just who he is. But I was trying to think else what I want to say about the situation. I just brought up King Von mama, man, because I noticed she was getting a lot of slack, a lot of backlash on things she should be doing. She should be not focusing on, you know, that woman got a life, man. That woman got, your son is gone, you know, that woman got to keep living, you know, that woman, you know, take care of herself. If she finds somebody, she don't. But, you know, in today's time, modern day time, you could, like I said, you can teach your kids right from wrong, but these kids gonna do what they want to do, especially when they become teenagers. You know, the age 13 is a pivotal point in a young child's life. 13, usually with especially black males, that's kind of like the age to see, they start seeing who they're gonna be, and if they're gonna start wanting to stick to the school route, or they gonna start getting themselves in trouble and start slipping into the street life, you know. But both of us, black mothers and black fathers, we got to do better being in our kids' life. That's the whole thing. And black fathers got to step up too. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna blame the black women, the black single mothers. I'm not gonna blame them all the time. You know, black fathers, we got to step up as well. Now the mothers got to stop, you know, keeping the kids away when they get mad, all that type of stuff. But this is why I say, fathers, you got to get more into your kids' life. You gotta, you know, you gotta file for joint custody. You gotta, these are things you gotta do where you can have your rights to your kids, and that women can't pull that shit. You know, it's gonna cost you, but you got to, when it comes for your kids, there should be no excuse. Because a lot of us brothers, we'll put money in clothes, jewelry, we'll put money in weed, buying weed, you know what I'm saying, buying drugs, buying, you know, cars and shit like that. But we won't put the money what's important, and it's getting our, you know, getting our rights to our kids. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this topic. The modern day single black mother effect, you know, the effect that it had on the kids. You know, does it, by the modern day single black mother, by her getting older and she looking good, and she out here, she on Instagram, and she got a bad shape on her, will that affect the kids? You know, it just depends. You know, it depends. Hopefully she ain't out here doing OnlyFans. I'm not talking about King Von mama. I'm talking about an average modern day black woman. Hopefully she not doing that, because eventually it gets back, you know, people find out, you know, you don't want your kids to find out, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be a issue. You know, they in school and they gotta deal with all type of shit, you know. But, you know, all these things play a part in a modern day single black mother effect, you know. Her wanting to be loved and wanting a man to love her kids, you know. And I understand that's what you want, ladies, but, you know, you gotta look at, in that situation, you gotta look at the right way to handle this, the right way to handle it. Make sure your mental's together before you start dating. And that's anybody, man or woman, you gotta make sure your mental is together. Once you got your mental together, you gotta start vetting people a little bit more, you know, than how you've been in the past. And then now rushing into things, you know, don't rush into trying to put a father figure in your kid's life. And I know that's what you want for them. You gotta just slow up on that. You know, date a guy, see how that goes before you introduce him to the kids. Let that relationship between that man and your kids form organically. That's the best way that's gonna work. But you trying to force any man, and you not dealing with any man that's not gonna step up and be a father to some kids that's not his, that's not gonna be the answer. You're gonna be single for a long time, because the way things are going now, men are moving a lot differently than they were back in the day. Me and I'm trying to say now, I'm not gonna be just dating, you know, just because you fine, but you got kids by different men. I'm not gonna just be dating you because of that. So the times has changed, and by the times changing, you gotta move differently with the times. So you gotta like space that out when you going into this dating world, this dating market. You gotta space that out and see. When I mean space it out, I mean space it out as far as seeing how this relationship is gonna go before you introduce the kids. And I know some mothers gonna be like, well, I'll wait a while before I introduce my kids, and that's smart. You know, you want to have your kids keep meeting different guys. It's not working out. You don't want to do that. But anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. I'm King Tyson. Peace and blessings. One love. I'm out.